Welcome back to Maths in an Empty Classroom with me, Mr. Southern. This is part 2 of the lesson on sketching quadratics, and in this video I'm going to be explaining how to sketch a negative quadratic. So here we can see the example y equals 15 minus 2x minus x squared, and the fact that we have this negative symbol here means that it's going to be a negative quadratic. So straight away I'm expecting the sketch, rather than being a positive parabola, to be a negative parabola like so. As before, I'm interested in the intercepts with the axes, and I'm interested in the vertex, the turning point of the function. So, first of all, I'm going to make x equals 0 to find the y-intercept. So y equals 15 minus 2 lots of 0 minus 0 squared, which is 15. So the y-intercept is going to be 0, 15. I'm then going to make y equals 0 to find the x-intercept. So 15 minus 2x minus x squared equals 0. Now, because I'm solving equal to 0, I am allowed to multiply the equation through by negative 1 to give me x squared plus 2x minus 15. That will factorise to x plus 5, x minus 3, which will give me the two solutions of x equals negative 5 and x equals 3, which are the roots of this quadratic, and therefore the coordinates of the points of intersection are negative 5, 0 and 3, 0. So those are the intercepts with the axes. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the vertex of the quadratic. Now this is very, very important. We multiplied through by negative 1 here to change all the signs. We were allowed to do that because the equation equals 0. We are not allowed to do that when we complete the square, because if we do, we ignore the fact that it is a negative parabola. So what I need to do is I need to start with my original equation, 15 minus 2x minus x squared, and I need to factorise negative 1 out the front of a big square bracket, and inside my big square bracket I would have x squared plus 2x minus 15. I'm then going to complete the square on the big square bracket and deal with the minus 1 afterwards, but I cannot ignore it because that's what makes the graph negative. So, inside my bracket I've got minus 1, big square bracket. I'm then going to have x plus 1 all squared minus 1 squared minus 15, which means I then have minus 1, big square bracket, x plus 1 all squared minus 16. What I can now do is deal with the fact that I've got this negative 1 here, so I can expand out the bracket to be negative x plus 1 all squared plus 16. Now, when I'm looking at the vertex of this graph, the negative there does not affect the vertex, it just affects it being a negative quadratic. So the x-coordinate of the vertex is still negative 1, because I'm solving this bracket equal to 0, and the y-coordinate is positive 16. So negative 1, 16. So I've now got all the information that I need to sketch the graph. I've got a y-intercept of 0, 15, my two x-intercepts of negative 5 and 3, and I've got my turning point of negative 1, 16. So I just need a set of axes. This point here, negative 5, 0. The vertex, which is negative 1, 16. Now crucially, that is higher than the y-intercept of 0, 15, so make sure that your sketch acknowledges that. And then we have 3, 0 as the other x-intercept, so x-axis, y-axis. So there we go, there is the sketch of that quadratic. If you wanted to link it back to thinking about transformations of the original x squared parabola, as we did in the previous video, you could write this as negative f of x plus 1 plus 16. And think about what this is doing to the original 0, 0 vertex of y equals x squared. It's going to move it 1 to the left, it's going to move it up by 16, and that negative in front of the function is going to reflect it in the x-axis to make it a negative quadratic. And again, you'll notice if I was to draw in the equation of the line of symmetry, that would be going through x equals negative 1, like so. And just as with the previous example, the distance from the line of symmetry to each of those two roots is the same because the graph is symmetrical. So in this case it's 4 units, from negative 1 to 3 and from negative 1 to negative 5. Okay, sketching quadratics, job done.